Labour Party's got a 6% swing against them. That's the first big swing I've seen against the Labour Party. And the Liberals have a 7% swing against them.
What seat's that in?
So that's just Fremantle.
Freo, right.
With the Independent on 24%. And I'm not quite sure where the Liberal Party preferences go there. Again, because it's a Teal candidate, whether they preference the Labour candidate. Again,
no, I'm not sure.
The Liberal preferences are going to help Labour get more seats, which is not going to help them in the long run.
I had a feeling they were going to the Independent, but I'm not.
Alright guys, we're back online.
Okay, so we're just welcome everyone. Sorry about that. We just dropped out for a little bit. We're just looking at some of the Western Australian seats since some of the votes have progressed. So we've got 16,000 votes in Fremantle of interest. We've got the Independent there, Kate Hullett, on 24% of the vote, and the Labour Party, one of the few swings against the Labour Party that's significant. 6% swing against the Labour Party there, down to 38%. And then we're looking at the Liberals, who've also got another swing against them of 7%. So the Independents picked up quite a lot of votes from both Labour and Liberal. And the Greens, 5% swing against the Greens. So that used to be quite a significant seat for the Greens.
Absolutely.
That's
one that we were, we did win.
No, that's the state seat.
Yeah, the state seat of Freo in the contiguous area. Yeah.
So but we're just trying to find out whether the Liberals have preference. Because if the Liberals have preferenced the Independent, there is a chance that the Independent could win off the Labour Party. But if they have preference the Labour Party, then the Labour Party will hold that seat. So it might be the case of the Liberals helping a couple of Labour Party members hold on to their seats against Independents and Greens. So it's kind of interesting to sort of discuss where the Liberals go from here in terms of do they want to keep helping Labour win seats and get extra people in, or make it harder for Labour to win those seats and get Labour to spend more money trying to win those seats from Independents and Greens. So very interesting.
Yes.
Like, it does not make sense logically for me for the Liberal Party to keep helping the Labour Party win seats and not give them a contest.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they have to make a strategic.
Whereas Labour can
to make a strategic
take
decision.
money and or take more funding and run in Liberal seats like us. The seats they should win like us.
The problem the Liberals have got now is that they seem to be in a no-win position. I mean, on the one hand, they can sort of become a sort of junior partner to the ALP.
Which is what we've got here.
With the Teals and the Greens forming the other side. Or they can try and make themselves effectively a third force between Labour on the one hand and Greens and Teals on the other.
But they're always going to be to the right. But they're not going to be in the middle.
That's the trouble. The trouble.
So ideologically.
It happened when Howard replaced. I know there was an interlude of Alexander Downer, but nobody talks about him. But basically, when Howard replaced Hewson.
Yes, I think Hewson was the turning point. Really.
Yeah, you're right. I think I agree with you there.
Howard. It took some time then for Howard to entrench that view. But he was successful with it, he won 4 elections, so that validated his approach to politics.
But it was actually, when you look at the longer term, it was actually the beginning of the end.
It was deeply destructive because it narrowed the base of the party to something that wasn't sustainable.
And a lot of those future Liberal MPs are not joining the Liberals anymore. They are actually going to Labour and getting pre-selected and
that's right.
And they're a good fit for Labour.
And those centre people are joining directly.
We have to say Labour and Liberal. Well, not Liberal, but Labour.
Quite well, 33%.
Yeah,
slight swing against the Liberals. Not as much as anywhere else, but enough. Labor's picked up some
She's
votes
got
there.
enough Labor votes to get on top of the Liberals.
And the Greens have gone down a bit, and that's where Kate Cheney seems to have picked up that swing from, or from the Liberals, and you'd expect her to,
Yeah, I think
projection is that she's gonna, and they thought that they could win this one back. The Liberals thought that they could win this one.
Yeah,
back.
they did.
But
But there's a lot of seats they thought they could win back.
They thought they could win Goldstein back too.
Yes, and they thought they were going to win Kooyong.
Some of them even thought they could win Kooyong.
Yeah.
I always thought Kooyong was a harder task for them than Goldstein because of the candidate that they had. But I mean, the Liberal candidate for Goldstein, I feel that
Hard to say. I
wasn't as popular as they think.
I confess I didn't have a great feeling about Kooyong this morning. I wasn't super confident about it, but
there must be some more votes coming in for Goldstein. So 82,000 now counted in Goldstein.
So getting very close to the end there.
That's pretty big
Yeah.
in terms of vote count, and we are looking at so the Liberals have got a swing to them. So Tim Wilson has got a swing of 3% to him.
Okay.
And the independent Zoe Daniel has a swing against her of 0.93%. So this is interesting.
Ooh.
Labor's got a swing to them.
Wilson's sitting on 42% primary.
Yeah, that's that magic number.
That's the number. It's a magic number. Gorham's paying attention.
The Greens pretty okay, but this
The
is the actual.
Greens vote
So this
was
is the
okay.
actual thing. So this is the actual two-party preferred, and that's counting 54%.
Well, that's okay. She's got that.
to
Dinesh, can we have a look at Melbourne? People are texting me about Melbourne.
Let's
One
have a
person is
quick
texting me about Melbourne.
Someone's texted me about Melbourne as well. I don't think it's a problem.
Okay, so we've got
apparently the ABC's projection is
Just scroll
in
up to
favour
the
of
two-party
Labor.
preferred.
they haven't done it.
Oh, they haven't done it.
They haven't
That's
done
a
it
bit
there.
telling, actually.
How
33,000 votes counted.
how primaries dropped since the last time?
That's a significant
5%.
It's a significant
No,
drop.
I mean since the last update.
Right.
Yeah,
It's dropped
that's right.
1.5%.
Yeah. So it's minus 5% against the Greens and 6% up for the Labour Party.
yeah.
They'll get Liberal preferences.
They will get
this
Liberal
is what
preferences.
happens here.
I wonder if they had it out anywhere again.
Yeah, they
Again.
did. They did in Melbourne.
In Melbourne.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's interesting.
Oh well, I don't know how comprehensive
I don't know
was.
how much they did. I
Yeah.
think they
They did in the CBD polling booths.
Yeah.
Because they're trying for the Senate
keeping
vote.
in
they're
mind-
trying for Senate votes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keeping in mind
I
the
don't-
40 over 40%.
Yeah, I think
Adam's
he's
sitting
okay.
at the 43%.
I really think he's okay.
So maybe there's enough
Yeah.
leakage. We're not 100% sure.
There's pre-polls. They historically
There's
go in the Greens'
pre-polls,
favour.
absence. There's a lot there to be counted, but that is not great territory. The minus 5%.
That is not great territory at
So.
all.
No, it doesn't look good.
I'm just checking in on.
William Bowe's estimate is 58.7% probability for
Yeah.
Greens, and that's,
So
you know,
yeah, looking at the booths that haven't come in, we're looking at Brunswick. Oh gosh, that must be a small one. Abbotsford, Collingwood. Collingwood's going to be quite good. East Melbourne, probably not great.
yeah.
South Yarra, again, potentially a 40%. Maidstone, where's that? Oh, that's in Footscray. Okay, that's a pre-poll centre. Melbourne itself, 26 Derry Street, Melbourne, CBD.
Yeah.
Northwest.
Two Melbourne CBDs.
Yeah,
haven't
North
come in.
Melbourne, Moonee
No, they haven't
Ponds.
come in. Oh, okay.
Ponds
That's
not
where
in
the
yet.
Liberals.
Okay,
were.
so Prahran will be pretty good for the Greens. Not so much for
Prahran.
Labor.
So, yeah.
After the Sam, what happened
South
to Sam?
Yarra.
Greens vote's quite. It doesn't shift.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know that area. So.
Yes, but it'll be very interesting to look at those votes because it's the first
Yeah.
time after the redistribution that Prahran got to vote for, the seat of Melbourne. So
Yes,
very
yes.
very interesting to look at South
Yeah.
Yarra, Prahran.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
no, that
Yeah,
will be
true.
interesting. That's very much not a vote of confidence in the Greens' leadership. You would have to say.
That's a real shame.
Whether that's a good thing or not is a matter of opinion, of course.
Well, I'm sad about it. So, yeah.
I certainly don't think it's. I mean, it's not enough votes There's
Yeah.
plenty more votes to come.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
plenty-
think we
there's
need
plenty
It
more
to.
is to
votes
see the
come.
We
Melbourne.
don't need to panic
I
about that
don't,
seat.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to lose it, but
Yes.
I think it's a
But
it's
he-
a significant
Well,
setback.
the thing for the Greens, which is a thing that always has to be faced, has been ever since he got elected, in fact, before he was elected, that the demographics have been changing over the years.
Yeah,
and there's
true.
more and more Liberal
Yeah.
voters and so
Yeah.
on. And it is basically a three-cornered contest in many ways. In many ways, if Adam was to retire one day, and we had to get a new
I
candidate,
agree. Well, it happened
Yes.
with Lindsay Tanner.
Yes.
So the seats, yeah.
and so this means that any electorate where the Greens have got to work continually to increase votes so that we eventually get to 50% of the vote somewhere and actually have a real safe seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what it makes that difficult in Melbourne is it is the highest churn or turnover of people who live there. So
Yeah,
you constantly
massive
have to work.
churn. Yeah.
Constantly have to work because there are always new members, new voters every single election.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. It just means it's not safe. Anytime the Liberals, like they've done on this occasion, decide to preference Labor ahead of the Greens, where it's a hard job for us, anytime they preference us ahead of Labor, we've got it in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But we can't.
Exactly.
But they,
Is
they,
it
they've
when
got,
they hand out?
but they've got until the day of the election to decide that. haven't
Yeah,
they?
when
Yes.
they have their how to
So,
vote card.
which means we
They
always,
don't have to register their preferences
which
anymore.
means we always have to keep working to retain the Greens. But
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing
Yeah.
because all those people, the students and so on who are living there,
Yeah.
you get them to become Green voters, and then when they move to the other electorates as they grow up,
Yeah.
we're greening the surrounding areas. Melbourne is always going to be the focus of the Greens in Victoria, and it's where all other campaigns come out from.
If I were the Greens, and I once was, along with all of you, not just,
But
I would be looking at encouraging the Victorian Socialists to work as hard as possible in Melbourne, and then get their preference flows. That's what I would do.
well, it's certainly good for us, but
Yeah.
they have to also ask what's in it for them. But
Well, and they're interested in the working class seats.
But-
the sort of.
But Wills and Cooper are, again, always going to be the next best for us,
Yeah.
and better than Melbourne because
Yeah,
the
I
Liberal
agree.
vote will never be as high as it is
Exactly.
in Melbourne.
We always thought once Cooper went,
Yes.
Batman Cooper,
Yes.
that it would be the stronger seat.
Yes.
But it didn't
And,
go.
and,
unfortunately.
it does look a little bit.
Possibly. Yeah.
There's a very good chance
I always
that
thought
tonight may well be the night that
Where
Wills goes
Wills
green.
goes, yeah.
But we'll see as the night goes on, or I should say as the week goes on, because
There's going to be a lot.
we're going
Can I-
to be sending scrutiny as to Melbourne and Wills.
Before we pack up for the night, can I just draw your attention to the Senate quickly?
Yeah.
Because we've now got
We'll finish on the Senate.
respectable numbers of votes.
Before we go to the Senate, can we just finish up with Fowler?
Okay, Fowler.
Sure.
Let's have a look at
Which is
Fowler.
an interesting one.
The
So,
two Vietnamese.
This is where the Labour
candidates.
Party was trying to win this seat back,
Yes.
which was a Labour seat with Dooley, and now the Independent, who's a former Liberal,
Yes, Daly.
seems to be doing better and looks like she's on 52%, so that she's got a little bit of a buffer. Over
And you've
to-
got a relatively strong
Yeah,
family
yeah.
first
and
vote
that's
there.
a 43,000 counted. So this is
Yeah.
going to be, again, it'll keep going on and going on to see where those pre-polls.
You'd rather be the independent there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually think
Yeah.
Daly's okay.
And I think the
Well,
Greens
the
would have
Greens will
preferenced
go-
the Labour Party,
Yeah, they would have gone to Labour.
rather than that, because Daly actually did say that in a balance of power situation that she would support the Liberals.
Yes, yeah.
So
She's a former Liberal.
we're just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that Labour and the Greens would have preferenced her over Labour. So she does have the Liberal Party, and I'm not sure where they preference. They probably preferenced her.
They will have
Oh, they
preferenced
will
her,
have,
yes,
definitely.
yes.
So
Yeah.
they've only got
Yeah.
11%. They've got to swing against them.